Welcome to the Be Student Podcast, and thank you for joining me. Today I have the privilege of talking to Emily Williams, a successful entrepreneur and extraordinary tastemaker in our region. Her design work has been featured repeatedly in magazines and online publications, reaching a global audience. With an extensive background in retail and apparel, Emily extends her passion for living beautifully through her Winter Park area businesses, Beyond Park, a fine jewelry boutique, and Z Properties, an interior design and custom home building business. And more recently, the addition of a women's apparel collection along with bridal registry and tabletop, now available at Beyond Park. Emily is an active and engaged member of the community, serving on the board of the Winter Park Chamber of Commerce and Park Avenue District and supporting countless charitable organizations. Today, we're going to be focused on how you can show up and engage with luxury as a way to belong and a way to celebrate milestones and help you lead a more interesting and more curated life. So let's go ahead and get started. Emily, thanks for coming today. As we heard in the introduction, you have feet in both real estate and jewelry. And today I want to talk about both of those, but I want to go a little bit deeper to the thing that I think superpowers what you do, which is a real understanding of luxury. So we'll get to that in a minute. But can you tell us about having one foot in fine jewelry, one foot in real estate and development? How did those worlds first connect for you?
Well, that's a really good question. So real estate and development and design was when, let's call it 15 years ago, 16 years ago. Zane and I got married. He was just starting Z Properties. I had just had a child, so I didn't really have anything to do with anything at that point except preschool.
But you had a background in residential real estate, right?
I had a background in residential real estate. I had my real estate license for a number of years, and I enjoyed that. So I had a background in that. He was very passionate about the construction and the design. Fast forward, my child was going to school. What was I going to do?
Because we know it's not sit at home and eat bonbons.
It was not. It was like, oh my God, real school is coming, and I can probably only go to the grocery store and do a workout class like for a small part of the day, right? And then I'm like, I'm done. I'm out of things to do. So we had started the Grove, and my design business grew out of the Grove, and then we merged Z Properties and Design. The jewelry store came in almost 5 years ago, and that was sort of... It was very random. There was no plan. I think that people think that I have a plan. I never have a plan. I don't.
This is one of the things we hear from entrepreneurs on this podcast all the time. I had self-belief. I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
I'd never done it before, but I just knew I could.
But it's okay. But I can figure it out, right? Yeah. I can figure it out. So didn't have a plan. I knew it was a good business. And to me, in the realm of luxury, it was sort of a worlds collide of like, we are touching these people in a high-end residential real estate development design world. And this is, high-end retail luxury products. And so it was a very, there is a lot of crossover to me in the businesses and also creatively the way that we kind of craft them and they come together.
So I'm thinking about this from a how I built this perspective. When you were a little girl, were you into jewelry? Were you the best dressed in your high school class? Because I think of you as a real style driver, and we know it's not just for the region of Central Florida. You're going to destinations that are known for style and luxury and bringing your collections there and really influencing the way people are experiencing luxury goods from Winter Park to the world. So what was that like for you as a little kid? Were you involved in this kind of stuff?
So I think that I have always been very particular about whether it was what I wore, what I wanted, how I wanted things to look. My mother will tell you that we were just talking about I would rearrange the furniture all the time. Things just, if something just doesn't feel right, we can just tweak it a little. We can move it. We can put something on. So I think that I was always that way. It's very funny, and people who know me know this. I am so different from people will be like, where do you get this? My mother and I could not be more different. She is practical as the day is long, amazing, the most wonderful person. But when you see us together, it's like, how did you get here from here? So I think it was just it's something that was always in me. And I didn't get to exercise it probably as much as I wanted to when I was younger. So I think then this is like really such a dream to me to be able to like think about all these things and, you know, try and put it all together and make it all beautiful.
So I'm going to challenge that for a minute because yes, the things you work with in a medium are beautiful and shiny and the homes you guys design are world class. They're amazing. But you have a pragmatism to you that's deeply focused on problem solving that I think comes through, even though the material you work with is shiny and pretty and high end and all that.
Yeah.
That some people connote with silly. And we'll get to that in a minute, that it is absolutely not. But I do think you have that, your mother's pragmatism and drive to solve problems. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I think that is absolutely true. And I think that there is that perception that what I'm doing is silly and fun and easy, and it's just, you know, throwing things together. But I think that, again, on the business side of it and getting to do the things that you want to do, you do have to be practical. You have to be willing to dive in and solve every problem. You have to be like willing to just go at it and find solutions. And it doesn't come easy. I think, and people think I'm not like super girly. I am, you know, like you will find me put incredibly well together. And I think that's what people see. And they're like, oh my God, you know, you always look like this. Honestly, most of the days of the week, I have on stretchy clothes and like maybe a cute scarf or a blazer I've thrown over it. And I'm calling that.
But it's been accessorized it's been with an inch of its life.
But yeah, it's not, this is not my everyday.
So I want to pick at this piece around luxury. And I think luxury, the definition has changed a little bit. I think that companies that trade in luxury goods are having to rewrite the script on what luxury looks like and is. I think companies like Zara help us to think about something that looks luxurious but isn't. Don't you dare wash that because it will fall apart, right? But I think there's more and more young people that expect to participate in the worlds of luxury goods, whether they have the means to do that or not. And I'm curious about how luxury is something that we can learn from. But also, I think luxury is a signal of belonging. And as we think more and more, as you know, about the world's belonging crisis, how do we think about luxury through the lens of signals of belonging? We've heard about quiet luxury being the vibe coming out of Succession. So these are all things I want to cover today. I don't know where you want to start, but there's a lot. So I'll start with this. When you hear the word luxury, what comes to mind?
It is what makes someone feel their best self and the most comfortable. So it's literally different for everybody. So, and I think it changes as your life changes. But I think ultimately, to me, luxury, it's, again, people associate it only with expensive things. It is what makes you your best self and you feel like your best self and you're most comfortable.
So I'm looking at all the jewelry that you're wearing today. I'm wearing jewelry Emily brought me. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Makes it easy.
But I'm looking at all the jewelry that you're wearing today. And I'm looking at what I think is probably your most luxurious piece of jewelry, which is this bracelet your son.
I know, right?
Right?
Yeah,
like, is that your most precious thing that you're wearing?
Yeah,
right.
I never take it off.
Right. And so I want our listeners, a lot of whom are young, 73% I think are under 45. Yeah. You may not have the money to be engaging in luxury purchases, but how can you apply an ethos of luxury to being more deliberate about your life? How can you take the rope bracelet and make that the most valuable piece of jewelry on your body, right? So for when you think about luxury as preciousness, right? How do we also think about it as craftsmanship? How do you know when something's been well made? We talked about the Zara clothes that look great, but don't you dare wash them, right? So how can you tell, like through a subtle cue, that something's been well made?
Oh, God. I mean, it's the feel, it's the weight,
the smell.
I mean, it's all of those things. It's very tactile, right? Whether it's a fabric or a piece of jewelry, or, I mean, it's very easy to tell inexpensive jewelry from expensive jewelry just in the weight and the way that it's made and looking at, feeling the prong work. And so I think it's a touch, it's a feel, it's a.
So when you when you think about something that's luxurious, and we've agreed that it doesn't have to be expensive, what's the difference between something being expensive and luxurious?
Well, something, if it's expensive, it could be expensive for no reason at all. It could just be wildly expensive. And I think there's a lot of examples of that now in high-end brands where the price
I don't understand thousands of dollar sneakers. I mean, I'm sure that's like either. An okay boomer thing somebody wants to say to me, but $5,000 Balenciaga sneakers, I don't get.
It's right. And that is like, it's interesting that that is luxurious to someone because it feels like it's more just like I hate to say this, but it's a look at me. That becomes that sense of belonging. Like if I have that, I can achieve what these people have. And that actually makes me really sad because I think, again, you should be able to really choose what is luxurious to you, not because you see it on social media or not because it's what all the other people are wearing, but like what really feels good. Like when and maybe that is the case. Maybe all of those people who put those sneakers on think this is the best thing I've ever put on my body and I feel the best I could ever feel. But I think you could go a little further than that. And I think it's about the mix and how you present things and the choices that you make, not necessarily there it is and I have to have it too.
So let's talk about what's happening here. All right. So at 6:30 this morning, I texted Emily and said, by the way, if you want to put jewelry on me to talk about on the show. Now, Emily's a much better model of jewelry than I am, but like I would never do this. And this is so fun. Because I don't have all this level of jewelry, but also because I'm a very safe dresser. I have my little grown lady garanimals and I don't go out of my comfort zone. Yeah. And Emily put this long earring on me. I don't know if Carlos can zoom in on this, but I've got this long earring on and I'm like, oh, I can't wear those. And Emily said, why? And I said, I don't know. I just thought I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, no,
I just thought
you are.
These were like for fancy people and I'm not that fancy. So talk to me about like what's going on here. I'm wearing some
beautiful
cool
things.
Stuff.
Yeah, cool.
And how did you decide, hey, this is what I'm going to pick for her today?
I wanted it to be something fun and bold. And I know you like bold gold. And
bold
I know
gold,
you have,
I love it.
I know she has a certain designer that she really loves, Elizabeth Locke. So I wanted to resist just defaulting to that for you. So I tried to pick something adjacent. So Gurhan, the big beaded necklace, which is to die for, fantastic. And that is absolutely an everyday necklace.
It weighs about 3 pounds.
It does. It's got a ton of gold. It's got some adjustability in the back so you can layer it differently.
We love a layering
moment. The next one up is from Kwiat. So, and it's an Ashoka cut diamond in the middle surrounded by some really beautiful pave work.
It
feels
spend
good.
Time with
it's heavy.
Okay.
And then just a simple classic Riviera necklace. So we love those.
What's a Riviera necklace?
Diamond, just like a tennis necklace.
A tennis necklace.
Riviera is sort of the older name, tennis a little bit newer. But so so just a classic straight line tennis necklace, which we think is very everyday.
Very everyday.
Very everyday.
Okay.
I mean, also kind of in fine jewelry, we always say like the more things you put on, kind of the more casual it feels. If anyone's buying that.
Paradox of that.
It really is true. So like if you put that tennis necklace on by itself, it would feel very like, I'm a little bit old and I'm stuffy and I've got this one beautiful diamond necklace on. But when you start to turn it into kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Turn
it into kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Okay. And then tell me about these earrings that I didn't think I could wear.
These are beautiful. These are also Gurhan, and I love a linear earring. It feels like it's like a vertical stripe. It's a very elongating, like it makes you,
Because I always thought I was going to look like a Nashville country singer if I wore an earring like that.
Not even close.
Okay.
Not even close.
All right. So let's talk about what you're wearing.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
So I kind of purposely I've been wearing this for probably a couple weeks only with the addition of this one necklace that came in yesterday.
Do you sleep in all this?
No, I take everything off. Strangely, like the moment I get home.
Okay.
I actually take all my jewelry off and transition to a soft clothes or a pajama, perhaps at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So this is a Kwiat Ashoka pink sapphire, white diamond.
Can you zoom in on any of this?
Band that I wear almost every day.
All right.
Favorite designer and dear friend of mine, Lauren Kessler. So pink tourmaline, diamonds and sapphires. Satie bangles, really sparkly. And then this is favorite designer of ours, Emily Wheeler, works in a ton of color.
Okay.
So this is a sapphire ombre fringe necklace.
Love
really
it.
Groovy, very like 70s disco, which I love.
All right.
I have on a little Kwiat. What do I have on? A little Kwiat Diamond Station necklace, maybe?
Okay.
Do I? I do. So again, super classic, easy. Throw it on with everything. Wear it with everything.
A station necklace is when there's a stone at little stations around there. Okay.
I have on this heart that has an E and Z on it, which,
that's
is
pretty
very
cute.
special.
I love that.
And then a new favorite, a London brand called Locket London. So there are these fantastic
Shout out to my London people. I love this.
There's little charms, these little treasures, and you build your own adventure and you just slide them in there.
We can get those at B. All this we can get at B.
This is at Beyond Park.
Okay.
So really fun. But
and you don't need to live in Winter Park to go to Beyond Park. Emily will help you out with online or whatever.
You can order online.
Yeah.
You can come see, we'll send you pick boxes.
Okay. And then tell us about your bracelet.
Oh, okay. This came from Frank, another dear friend of ours.
Yep.
This is camp made jewelry by my son. So camp made jewelry. So I just
love that you just mix all
kind
this.
of a mess.
It's so much fun.
Yeah. So
okay. So going back to luxury is preciousness. People will come to you to pick a piece of jewelry to mark a precious milestone.
True.
So I'm thinking push presents for new moms. I'm thinking engagement rings, wedding rings, anniversary bands. Maybe I screwed up and slept with another woman.
That happens. That happens.
Maybe.
Big apology
that's
gifts.
Maybe not the milestone we want to focus on.
Apology gifts, we'll call them.
Apology gifts. Okay. Tell me about a moment from your years of working at B that there was a jewelry purchase that gave you goosebumps. Like an amazing milestone moment. You're like, I was so lucky to be part of this.
So we had an engagement ring last year. I think it was last year. And it was two people that I know. I didn't know them as well when the process started, but I got to know them very well. It was the second marriage for both of them. And it was a complete surprise. And it was they were so happy and so wonderful to see them together. And I always love it and it doesn't always happen, when men are interested and engaged and they care and they look at the things and they really
this is my
think
brother.
about.
My brother is completely
so I
like
love
this.
that.
I love
because
it.
We have, obviously we have a lot of men that shop, but we have a lot of men that just come in and they're like, I don't know, what does she want? Like, what's on her wish list? Or, I don't care. Like,
here's
if that's
my
what
credit
she wants,
card.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Right? So this was
Which
like,
we don't fault you guys for that
and that's
at
fine.
all.
That's fine. We will receive the gifts, but if you care, it helps. So it was just the most special. He and I probably looked for, I'm going to call it 9 months. We may have even started closer to a year of like bringing in rings and looking at different things and weighing out options and what it was going to be. And ultimately,
why do I feel like this ring could have cost the same as a condo?
It was a very special piece of jewelry. And ultimately he went with this amazing, and they'll know who it is.
Is his name Travis Kelce?
It is not, but he went with a blue sapphire, which for them was very meaningful. They're both their favorite color. It was a birthstone. They both love the water. So, he went back and forth between a traditional white diamond ring, and we just kept coming back to this concept of it doesn't have to be that, and it can be very special. And I personally have my original engagement ring pre the store is, and you've probably seen it, it's a pink sapphire, and it's a beautiful pink sapphire. And I think
that's a gutsy move, though.
It's
to
a
go
gutsy move.
To just not even use a diamond.
It is.
And just say, we're going to do this instead.
It is. It's a gutsy move, but like I always thought that was just so special because it wasn't just, not that a diamond isn't special, but it had significance to me. It was my favorite color.
But you worry, don't you? Is this going to be a trend that goes out of style? Like I just remember all those marquee diamons in the late 80s and 90s, and nobody knows what to do with those now. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I don't worry. No.
Okay.
No. We call it colorful engagement, and we actually love it. And
okay.
To me, it speaks more to the person and to their personality.
I'd be completely down with the blue sapphire.
So that was probably
ring.
In the last couple of years, like the most special transaction to me.
Okay.
Just because of how involved I was in the selecting and how involved he was and how delighted she was.
So what do you learn from your clients' sense of sort of taste, meaning, and aspiration? I'm sure they teach you things as they're going through this process about how to approach those kinds of things.
God. How they approach it?
Yeah.
How they approach it?
Because these are people who are going and buying stuff in Aspen and New York and Paris and, other places too.
Approaches it differently. And I think the most important thing to us is, along those lines, understanding that we are dealing with people, and it doesn't even have to be, people who are buying wildly expensive things. Just understanding our place and understanding that there are a lot of places to spend money, right? Like, so we want to approach it, and we want them to approach it more of a relationship with us. Like, obviously it's transactional, and obviously there is jewelry and all of those things. But I think, like, in terms of how it comes together and what we learn from our customers, we learn all about them. We learn what makes them tick. We learn what they love. We learn all their personal milestones. And that is super important to us. And so in keeping them coming back to us and building that relationship.
And probably you guys are saying, this just came in, I'm calling you because I knew you'd love it.
Yeah,
right?
We
I know
always
you've
want
got
to
a
be
very
thinking,
personalized approach to that.
Yes, we always want to be thinking about what they love and what they bought in the past and what would speak to them.
Well, I know that when I had a certain milestone birthday, that I don't really want to say what it is because it happened 5 years ago.
I know that birthday.
Really 6 years ago.
Yep.
I have a pretty fantastic brother, and both of our parents are deceased. And I was unattached at the time. I didn't have a significant other. And my darling brother came to me and said, I think Mom and Dad would have wanted me to do this. And I'd like to go to B, and I'd like to pick out a meaningful piece of jewelry for this milestone birthday. And I was like, what? Oh. I know that makes me sound kind of sad. Like I'm a spinster aunt that has to be taken for jewelry. Yeah. I have a cute boyfriend now, right?
Yeah,
but I've grown up. But we went in there and it was so fun because we got out that magic little velvet tray.
The tray. We love the tray.
And you guys were like, let's put this in the tray. And I would just go, okay, that. We looked at everything. And ultimately, I picked something that's part of my gold bolt that I think I wanted to wear something that was everyday, that wasn't some big stone that I'd be worried about getting robbed for or whatever. I just wanted to wear stuff because I felt like what my brother was doing made me feel so seen and made me feel so connected to our parents who were gone and made me feel proud of the accomplishments I'd made up to the 49 years that led up to this birthday.
34.
35, 39, whatever. And it was such a cool thing. And every time I look at that stack of rings, I feel that way. Yeah. And it makes me feel like I belong, or makes me feel special or accomplished or proud or all those things. And I love that your store was a part of that milestone in my life and my relationship with my brother. And if you're a brother, like, do that for your sister. It was a really slick baller move.
That is.
So I really enjoy it, and I love coming into your store. It's a place of wonder and beauty and just an elevated sense of aesthetic. Okay, so as we start to round out to the latter section of this interview, I want to do more like lightning round questions.
Oh, God.
Okay. What is the most luxurious thing that costs nothing?
Love.
Ooh, I like that. For me, it's going on a walk. I like to just go on a walk. Okay. What do you think is a brand or brands that for you embody modern luxury?
Oh, gosh. It would, oh God, that is so hard.
Well, we were just talking about the Ann Mashburn camo.
I know. We were. Yeah,
shoes.
and I do love an Ann Mashburn. I actually like very simple, I don't want to say practical. That's stressful to me, but I like.
But there's your mom. Practical. We like hearing about her in that. Okay.
I like things that go high low. Like I have on it's a velvet pant, but it's a jean. So like it could go with a tenny and it could go to black tie. Mm-hmm. So I like things like that. So it's like anybody that's doing something like that well.
I love a high-low moment where you've got something from Target and maybe like a little designer bag or something. Okay. What's an everyday ritual that feels like luxury for you?
Oh, just coffee in the morning.
I know.
When I get up and like,
how do you make your coffee? Do you have a fancy Italian espresso machine?
No, I like it super simple. And actually, my husband's been making it lately, which is even
That's
better.
the biggest luxury of all, when someone else makes your coffee.
Yeah, so like I get up and it's just there.
Shout out,
so it's so nice. So I love to like I enjoy that like time in the morning. We get up pretty early. The dog gets out of bed when I get out of bed. Transitions from the bed to literally next to me on the sofa, and we spend some time and go through the day and
all right. Favorite indulgence in Winter Park?
I hate Hillstone.
All right.
I don't go that often anymore, but
so Hillstone is on the lake in Winter Park, and you can get you a nice salad and a beautiful glass of wine there.
Just super easy.
Okay, so if you are younger and thinking about how to bring more luxury into your life, our listeners are, and you're the master practitioner of luxury. So how can they bring more luxury into their lives, maybe at a graduated price point, or maybe like for me, I got my daughter when she turned 18, small diamond studs, and said, we're going to be graduating your studs through your milestones, so that suddenly one day she has 2-carat studs, or maybe her partner can take over from there and pump those up. What are some like easing into luxury strategies for young people that they could execute?
So for me, I would say things like that. I think of jewelry as I think about a wardrobe. So you have wardrobe staples and you have jewelry staples. So you've got great denim, you've got great white shirts, you've got a great pair of black pants, you've got a blazer. We've talked about all this. And jewelry is kind of the same way. So if someone comes in and they don't know where to start and they don't have a clear vision, and some people come in and they don't have a lot of jewelry, but they're like, that earring is the only thing I want. It speaks to me. That is fine. But when people are kind of just starting, that is kind of how we say like, okay, do you have a diamond stud? Do you have pearls? Do you have some pretty gold bands?
Or a great watch?
Have a great watch? Yes, all of those things. And kind of build through those things.
So diamond studs, pearls, great watch for men or women, right?
Yeah, I mean, a tennis necklace is definitely on our list, whether it's a big one or a small one.
It's also called a Riviera. I learned today.
Yes.
All right.
So that's always on our list. Maybe a beautiful gold bracelet or a tennis bracelet.
Okay.
So if people really want to think about like, okay, what do I need? Because it could be a need. We kind of like start with those things. And then it's like, okay, because sometimes people come in and they're like, oh my God, my husband wants to buy me something, but I don't even know where to start. And we'll go through, okay, tell me what you have.
Okay.
Right. And so I think that we
like coming in with a spreadsheet with an inventory on it.
Well, just kind of like,
see
what do you
me
have?
doing
What
that.
do you wear?
Okay.
And it's also really important to us that people have things that they are going to wear. So like if people are, on the fence or I don't know, between this and that, I say, what are you actually going to put on and wear and enjoy?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do any good to spend money on something that you're not going to put on.
And do you guys deal with people like me who have inherited jewels in a Ziploc bag that they bring into your store?
Yes, we love a Ziploc bag.
So what happens?
We love a Ziploc bag.
I have all this like Art Deco jewelry in a Ziploc bag.
We rework it. We do it all the time. And we love to do that because again, those are treasures that are just going unworn. So even if we have to like take some of them apart or make them into something else, we did this fantastic, I have a dear friend and really good client who had it was a brooch. We redo a lot of brooches because people
brooches
have like they're
right?
in, but then people aren't wearing them. So it had like all these really beautiful pieces of turquoise, and we took them all off and put them onto a chain for her and one for her daughter. So it's like, why should that be trapped in there? They're beautiful things. So if you're not wearing it the way that it is, let's reimagine it. And that's a very like low entry point.
So get that Ziploc bag and take it down there too. Take that Ziploc bag into that beautiful wonderland of a store.
I mean, we see all kinds of things.
Okay, so let's recap. We want to build a jewelry wardrobe if we're young.
Like a capsule.
We want to build it like a capsule. We can bring the Ziploc bag in. And luxury doesn't have to cost anything.
No.
But we can invite it into our lives to bring us more empowerment, more peace, more joy, a greater sense of belonging and connectivity. And also make sure that you're celebrating those big milestones with something luxurious, whether it's a walk or maybe even something fabulous from B, like what I'm wearing here today.
Yeah.
Emily Williams, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
We would love it if you would like, share, and subscribe to the B Student Podcast to learn more from founders and entrepreneurs like Emily Williams, where we can help you supersize what you're doing with some of the soft skills and approaches that our guests bring to their lives. Thanks so much for joining us today. See you next time on the B Student Podcast.